$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum. Sisters and brothers, Sima Rahim here, Mr. Cunnet, break on 7 seals. This challenge has been out there for well over a year. That's my send me some message. We just envious of Farrakhan. Get your $5,000. It was just envy. Come click your $5,000. They couldn't even spell envy right. I-N-V-Y. Ignorant dummies over there. Don't argue, don't fuss. Just step up and get your $5,000. Why are you going to argue? If you know that you got the truth and you got the Messiah, hey, $5,000 bonus? It's a win-win situation because I tell you, put the other way around. Tell me you give me $5,000 by proving he's a liar? An open session? I've been in this heartbeat. Heartbeat. If I can prove, without a doubt, he's no good, lying dog, no good devil. Easy. The hypocrite, the liar. He doesn't represent Elijah Muhammad. No, it doesn't represent Master Muhammad. He represents L. Ron Hubbard in Scientology. If you analyze anything like Scientology and genetics, that's what he's saying. That's what he's teaching. He's not teaching Islam. He's teaching Dianetics and L. Ron Hubbard. That's what remember, for years, go back and check. For years, the originator. What happened to don't talk about the originator anymore. For years. Not Master Muhammad. And here was Allah, the originator. Heaven and earth. Originator. And now all of a sudden it's Master Muhammad. I call him on it. You don't hear about the originator anymore. They're through. The Lord consumed with the spirit of his mouth and destroyed the bites that was coming. All was happening before our eyes. Then again, if you can't see, you're right before your eyes, but you don't see anything. Unfortunately, that's the case. Won't see it right now. That's going to change in a minute. You're going to see, and what you do, what you see, that's up to you. You're going to be made to see. Let's play the rest of these out. Get to my main topic. I'm going to talk about for the rest of the week, I guess. Right? I may have to continue for a couple of days. Right now, the war's about to resume. You need to know what to do. That's where we are right now. Some folks are where we are right now in time. He's the warlord. Look at him. I'm all doped up. You can make a person they're dancing bear if you put enough dope in them. Right? Bad. Here. You can be smiling. We're smiling, but they can't walk. Look at them, they're holding them up. You got a jumpsuit on, one piece jumpsuit. Anybody knows anything about about what do you call it? Not nursing, but medical care, whatever. They want to put you in one piece suit to easily change your ass because he can't dress himself. If you go back and look at the other picture, right? He had a jumpsuit on, did he? But he had an oversized overcoat, coat on top of it, and a bib to cover it up. That's what the bib was for, to cover. He didn't have a tie or anything. It's a jumpsuit. So he's a formal affair. Everybody's got, but how come he in a jumpsuit? He called it formal. Because he's pissing shit in the bag. They got to change him. They got to wipe his ass. He can't wipe his own ass. And then just say they carry him, got hands on his arms and everything. He walk. He's the Messiah. You say, that's some tired shit. Yeah, get that up. That's that try be charged y'all. Because he can't Messiah you anywhere. He can't take care of himself. How you gonna take care of you? But let me move on. The mouth. So many things, brothers and sisters. That's why those people that speak. Bottom line is, it makes it very clear to you. Anyone is in the way, this will be broken. Anyone this falls on, that means the devil's clear enemies, it will crush them. We crush something, means you get out of taken out of existence. It has no structure anymore. What crush means, you break a structure. So it doesn't exist as an entity anymore. It's just dust. See? But those who step to get in the way, they're broken. See, you see Farrakhan is broken. All these clowns out there talking. The scripture say the book of Daniel's sealed. That means if someone's talking about book of Daniel's, the first thing you should ask them, have you broke the seals? No, they shut the fuck up then. Because you don't know what you're talking about. Is that clear enough? Same thing with Injil. Have you broke the seals? No, then shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. But they're out there talking. Oh, so we got Elijah. Oh, so it doesn't matter about the seals being broken? Because that's what you say Elijah's a lamb. Did he break the seals? He never made that claim. Nor did he break the seals. See, that's why Muhammad never made that claim either. Even Linus Farrakhan, as far as I know, has not made that claim. So why are you talking? Why God Elijah? Okay, then tell me what's going on. It's about missing the covenant. See, they're all liars out there. Some is just outright idiots. Either way, they're going to be broken because they're in hindrance to this message. Because they're out there saying, that means they're confusing people. They're the people that seeking the message of the covenant. They're seeking something. There's areas of obstructions in your way, right? That makes it hard for you to find it. So in other words, right after Elijah, they should scope Farrakhan right away. So that's him, that's not him. Let's stick together. Be patient until this message of the covenant show up. I mean, they claim they're patient to match from. I'm going to show up. Don't they make that claim? But they're all divided. If you all with the messenger, how come you all got so many groups out there? I mean, the messenger, he spoke several languages. If you all the messenger, like you said, how come there's so many groups out there? How come, you the messenger's left hand, you the messenger's pinky, you the messenger's toenail. What part of the messenger are you? It's all bullshit. But the devil said the choice they had was either get control of the nation of Islam or destroy it. That was it. There was no in between. So if the nation of Islam is supposed to still exist, that means it's under their control. They're like, you said yourself, Farrakhan. Okay. And anyway, he spelled it right. Why in the hell would I be envious of that clown? He's shitting and pissing in the bag. He got castrated at 55. He's an idiot, father of the devil. What the hell about him has to be envious of? What? Can't even walk. Can't talk. So what the hell am I envious him for? His followers? Those idiots? What the hell am I them for? I went 7 if they came on running. Not those ones that Western guys, their doors closed on them. I wouldn't take them under any circumstances. If it was supporting that garbage, no. Speaking the message of the covenant is one thing. But he's not a Farrakhan's ass. So what you got to hear the Farrakhan's ass for? No. Their door's closed on you. So make your move. Wesley, Ishmael, Daniel, Jeffrey, all the doors closed on you. I don't care if you demons or not, your door's closed on you. Because you already claim, you already dismissed the message of the covenant anyway, because you never even talk about them. So you're just not seeking them. So we're not going to worry about whether you demons or what. You're just out. You're us. He said the mouth will have to take control of these things. You know why? For 40 years. He would make war with them and overcome them. See, there's so many things here that just trip you up. If that's true, that means you got 42 years of hell coming if that's not Farrakhan's the one that's going to be doing it. If he's not the mouth, then that means the mouth is coming. He's going to control you for 42 years. But you claim we're dead now, so something's wrong with that calculation, isn't it? The message of the covenant has a what's the word? We're taking a quick word here. I don't know, a counterfeit. I guess I can use that word. He has a badge that you cannot counterfeit. Because it says when he shows up, he had broke the seals. So therefore you cannot be mistaken as to who it is. So as so-called son of man, as Eric, as so-called, have you broke the seals? And if you have, show me. Tell us what it means. That shows right there, they already exclude themselves. Because that's what it says. You cannot make a mistake. Because it'll be someone who has broken the seals. Only one person could do it. That's who knows Son of Man is. And he never done that. I didn't even do it. He come direct from God. God didn't even do it. Then, and that's it. They get the consequence. I do this 2 days ago, sisters.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Lord bless, let me check my sound. It's not using word. Seems okay. At any rate, brothers and sisters, it's obviously, we showed clear 3 examples. The message of the covenant is right there. They never mention it. Right there, where they mention, they talk about Malachi, messenger. But right there it says, he prepared the way for the messenger of the covenant. There's another messenger, but they don't even mention him. That's messenger. He's the messenger of the covenant. What covenant? Okay. Something else they mentioned. They mentioned Abrahamic. People go into captivity for 40 years. They come out, they return home. And the covenant was, the covenant with Abraham. Abraham says, yeah, that's my word. They will return home to Arabia. Exactly what it says. Between River Euphrates and River Egypt. And mention that either. They don't mention the message of covenant. They mention the covenant. They mention other part, but not the covenant. So they believe part of the book and disbelieve the other, right there. And then, well, who's it then tell the message of the covenant? Oh, then you go to Exodus for that. And you got Aaron, who deceived the people. It says it clearly, 40 years after Elijah's departure, with the baton or the pass from Moses to Joshua. I passed Aaron. So Joshua is the messenger of the covenant because he's the one that fulfilled the covenant. No strings ever mentioned. They don't mention those three in that sense. Somebody mentioned the word of Joshua last week against say, I mentioned Joshua. Otherwise, you don't hear about it. So right there, they're guilty. So right there, that's the evidence that their future is a most severe chastisement, which is approaching fast. More about sisters.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flavor as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, please image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color.
Yeah.
It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground in unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We are family. Let's stay a family, be a family, and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. I had to do that. We love you. One more time, brother.
Excuse me, but that's not what the lessons say. They're not brothers. Now we like Muhammad said, it's not brothers. The devils, 100% wicked, all of them. 100% cannot be reformed. Must be removed from the planet. That's from Muhammad's teachings. It's not Muhammad's teachings. That's not Farrakhan's teachings. Yet he claims to represent Elijah Muhammad, and that's from Muhammad. How does he represent him? I already showed you about the Benjamins because that's exactly what happened when Elijah departed. They ripped off the nation, took all the money, took away all the assets, took the money and left the believers, hard-working believers. It was alive for years since the beginning. Some believers actually was there when Master Muhammad showed up. There was this brother, his name was Supreme Allah. Muhammad said, Master Muhammad gave me a name. Nothing. Took that money and ran, him and Wallace together. They had mouth Elijah Muhammad I'm on the way out. I'm alive, Farrakhan. Now he's back to eat the flesh like a buzzard dead that he's killed. Sick. Okay, brothers, it's a race war. What's about to happen here? It's a race war. It's a race war going on right now. In the Middle East, that's a race war. It's not about religion. It's a race war. Between Europeans who's masquerading as Israel and the Arabs. It's a race war. They killing Arabs. Right? No matter whether they're Christians or Jews, whether they're claiming Jews, whatever, the Arabs, they get killed. Race war. It's coming here. Being set for it. Race war. It's a race war. You know it's going to have to turn out that way because we have Dr. Yaqub, born in existence, a race that didn't exist. It's hard to call them a race because they're actually beasts, speaking beasts. Not original, not original. And I wouldn't call them races. You know, people have different reasons why they call them races that, investigated that. I mean, some things to say about that. But anyway, in ethnicity, those are tribes. See, what you said, India, that's a tribe. Bias was a tribe. Okay? What you see in China, that's not a tribe. You see Europeans, that's not a tribe either. And Johnny come lately. But all in that region, right, you had Upper Africa, Lower Africa, right? Above Africa, which is so-called India. So you had basically 3 tribes. Abraham existed, right? Well, his maiden was from the tribe of India. You might call it a Hindu tribe. Tribe of Shabazz. Tribe of Esau. Those are real tribes, 3 of them. Everybody else, right, came from us. Everything that came from us, right, is not considered, well, I might as well say a human. I'm not getting to that, brothers and sisters, because I was trying to explain how so-called evolution works. Everything came, let me say a couple of things from that. Everything came from us. God tells you that. From one life, all life came. So if you want to see, if it came from us, that means every time we took some out of us, our form changed. Like if you take an arm away, then now you got an arm out there, but now you armless. It's like we separate ourselves at gender. Well, the 2 beings was different. So every time we take something from us, our form changes. Because then they serve that function, and we get that function we should handle. They handle it, and we don't have to handle it anymore. Because when you say, when you check an embryo, the development of embryo, some stage in embryo, in embryonic stage, the child has gills. What do they have gills for? Not a fish. Because we had gills once. We used to live in the ocean. We had wings once. We don't have those things anymore. Again, we don't have them now. Men have breasts as a sign, but they don't need them. So every time you take something out, our form changes. So what happens is that if you was to be able to see all life, you could, and somehow form your mind, see all things one time, that's you look at Allah. Because that's all of us. They're all living things. That's a state. That's how Allah looks right now. That's the state that lies in. All this separated into all these beings. That's the full picture. Bees, horses, cows. That's what Allah looks like right now. If you could somehow point out in your mind. We like the brains of it. We move on, bro. So I didn't mean to go there. Anyway, what's all going on that race war? One reason why it's a race war because they've defined all speaking beings as part of race. But the Quran calls them the speaking beast, I'll raise a beast that speaks to you. See, that's their category. That's not our category. If you go along with that idea, right, then they're part of a race. So the thing is, it's a battle between the races then. Because right now, Adam was given charge of the winter this season. So I would like to speak clearly on these things, brothers and sisters, because right there I probably lost 90% of people here. See, I know what that is. We're still lost. There's 4 seasons every 24,000 year cycle, 25,000 year cycle. That's what 6,000 years each one. Went to winter season, and so we had. Well, I'm not going to go off on that. Problem is, they're winter people. I was given charge of winter season. So when spring comes, Adam knows nothing about the spring. It was created during the winter. That's all he knows is winter. They don't know it. So when spring comes, that expecting that. Because in the scriptures, they don't say spring. They say heaven. See, everybody's wanting to go to heaven, but they don't realize heaven is the hereafter. It's the heaven in that sense. The place heaven, right, is over the Middle East. But the heaven that you get, that you're going to be happy in, it's over hereafter, that's a different type of heaven, right? The quality heaven. That heaven, they say, oh, you get there after you die and all that kind of stuff, right? So spring, that's that make all things new. That means you're going to the next season. They're going to come to realize, oh, that's what it's meant. But it's too late for them. But they cannot survive in the spring. They cannot. Snow cannot survive in the spring. You understand simple concept, they cannot survive in it. But remember they have instinct, self-preservation, they're going to want to survive. And so that's going to cause a race war. Because they're going to fight, it's going to be between the winter race people, the spring race people, of course, they're going to fight races, right? It was spring, and so it's going to be a war between the spring people and winter people. That breaks down along racial lines. Racial lines. I'm trying to get you to start thinking mathematically. You understand exactly what's going on. Because you would not be able to survive tribulation if you don't think mathematically. If you think emotionally, you would definitely not survive it. Oh, see, that how do you think the Arab, Elijah Muhammad tells you, that's how Arabs, brothers got white. because they had emotional attachment to little white babies when they ran them out of Asia into Europe. So they hit them. No, babies can't get them. Don't let that happen to them. You know what? Our sisters did that, so I you know. Feel sorry for them. The next thing you know, you got a right Arabia. They come out. They do it out of and has the material to work with. So spring, that means you have to eliminate the winter. Eliminate totally. Eliminate the winter. Like I said, we got roaches, right? Oh, that's a little pretty little baby roach. Okay. Roach. You got to obliterate the winter. That's what spring does. If you can't do that, that means you're stuck in the winter. But you hold on to the snow. Hold on to the snow, baby. I don't know if you understand that or not. See, when you look at that level mathematics, then you understand it. But if you look at emotional level, I see it all the time. You walk down the street, and then you got this devil walking around, you got a little baby. I see sister doing it. I ain't mad at you. Oh, that baby's so cute. Are you serious? Then I tell you about black babies. I remember when I was working Montgomery Woods, my first computer job after the ministry departed. I had issues, right? Because my name was changed. I mean, as soon as I departed, immediately I said, I'm going there. Right? So that was a problem for some people. Anyway, long story short is, one of my co-workers that, we had the same office together, right? And, well, we got along pretty good. I mean, I had to work. I had to preach. So she had a baby. That was an ugly baby. That baby was ugly. I cute that baby. I didn't say anything. But that's a lot of people. You see some of these brothers, they walk around with white girlfriends or white, and always ugliness. Because to them, if they're white, that's good enough. They don't care about the way they look, just from the skin color. And they're so proud of it. Well, that's on them. It's going to be a race war. It's a race war going. See, I'm trying to keep you being in shock. But spring doesn't come in like a lion. It moves in smoothly. Like summer moves in smoothly. So if you're not paying attention, and you live in an ice box, then one day you open your ice box in March, and bam, you get a heat wave, you're in shock. What the hell happened? Because you live in an ice box. See? You was not out sexy. So now you're in shock. Because if you play it along, you saw spring come in and you make your adjustments. But now here, you're in the ice box and you're in the heat. Now you must not get burned up. See, it's happening right now before your eyes. That's why I give you warning. This desolation, telling spring is coming. But you already know about the abomination of desolation. I've been telling you about it. That's telling you, hey, spring is coming, start prepared. It's a lift your head. Your redemption is not. But you think, oh, that's terrible. Things are bad, man. Global warming. That's telling spring is coming. But you don't know about spring. But I tell you, ain't no spring. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to stay here in the winter. You see what's going on here? But you didn't pay attention to that. Because you don't know. There's a spring. You don't see it that way. Listen, the fire comes, that's going to change. The only thing will change is maybe you get more better than the devils. But you're going to stay here in America under their control. Because you stay here, you're under their control. Yours, their laws. It's made for them. So you don't see a spring coming, and the signs all around you. Flowers are blooming. You get the heat. The heat of the angel message, it's hot. Because when it hits you, you don't like it. I'll get away from that stuff, man. Got to get aware. All signs are there. Look, if you listen to what these people are saying, they even say it's going to be a race war. They lose control of you. Why do they lose control of you? Because you spray people. But you don't know you spray people. But somebody's still living in their control. Which is dangerous. I want to stay here in the winter. They're being frostbite. When spring is for you. It's time for you to step up. What they can do to you once you adjust to the spring, once you adapt to, once you grab hold of the spring, embrace the spring, there's nothing they can do to you. Because we got the solution here. We got your weapons, we got your defense, we got your bulletproof vest. We got all for you. It's guaranteed. It's been tested. It doesn't cost you anything. You already paid the price. You already paid the price. The prophet said, no spring is coming. Because the devil said no spring is coming. And the sign of spring, they twisted. Oh, global warming. That's a sign of spring. Somebody against it. Because it's instruction for them. Or there's great cities on the coastlines. Where those coastlines can be flooded. When ice floes melt. When ice floes melt, there's going to be more water. More water means deserts will go away. That means you're going to have two new continents that's fertile, that's not corrupted over the last 6,000 years. That's yours too. Two large continents. It's larger than America. Fertile land, that's yours. But they say, that's bad. It's bad for them. It ain't bad for them. But since you identify with them, you think it's bad for you. So you're helping them fight the spring. It's a losing battle. Race war is happening right now. It just hasn't got hot enough. It's happening. And that's people in Gaza. Is that a race war? I tell you, yes, it is. It's a race war. You see? And that Trump, he's going to be on his knees in a minute, begging these same people, help us. Oh, you're going to see that. He wants to attack South America. Race war, brothers and sisters. Scripture tells you it's going to be a race war. It tells you right there, Pharaoh, he's going to attack you because of your race, because you was an Egyptian. It's symbolic, but the point is that was what it says? It says, let us get wise with it. Let's call Israel has been a nation, so that's a race war. That tells you race war. They have one nation against another. When they talk about nations, they talk about races. And then you have the demons. That further confuse the issue because they're not a race. They're wolves. They're a race of wolves. Wolves eat clothing. They pent like Farrakhan. That's why he's talking like he's talking. See, if you might dress up like a lamb, but you still can't change your voice. You can't change your heart. So you're still going to be sounding like a wolf. That man sure sounds like a wolf. But still sounds like a goddamn devil. Listen to him. He loves devils. He loves them. He want to be, he want to be part. He want to go with her. Right? They're my brothers. They kiss on them. But he claims he's one of us. He's not. He sounds like a wolf. He sounds like just the devil. All the stuff he's saying. Race war. The race war, you need to be prepared for it, and you need a warlord to lead you in the race war. To lead you in the race war. Farrakhan gonna lead you in the race war? Shouldn't have pissed in the bag, can't wipe his own ass. All these things are very clear, but you're not paying attention to them. That's why so come there's a shock in the hour. I'm trying to save you from that shock. That shock is going to be definitely, it's going to be destructive to some people. A lot of people lost for lack of knowledge. What it means, the shock overcame them. They can react fast enough. Being in shock. You know, I was in Vietnam, right? And, a lot of people die out of shock. Because once they get shocked, they say, you're pretty much gone. Because what happened is that if they got shot, they get a finger or something. Because in their mind, being shot is fatal. And people are going into shock with a wound that wasn't life-threatening. Because they thought just being shot. That's the idea of being shot. They go in shock and die. There's a problem in the Philippines. You can check this out. And they had I forgot what word that was. They was fighting, I think it was Roosevelt, or what was his name? Teddy Roosevelt, I think it was. He led the fight to take it to the Philippines. And before the devils got hold of us, all the nations in the world, nobody was afraid of death. Death was not anything anybody was afraid of. Devils were, but nobody else was afraid of death. Remember, the Japanese weren't afraid of kamikazes. They embraced death. They taught you to be afraid of death, so they control you. They told you on top of that, if you die, you're going to hell. So not to be afraid of death, but the point is, when you got dead, they're going to tell you, they're going to get, they won't do what you now. They will do it to you while you're alive. And once they put that in your mind, they put you in a state of living shock. No. Our people are in a state of living shock. Those people in the churches are in shock. They're in shock. Because they had me in shock. Don't tell me, I know. Because when they told me as a child that I didn't ask to be here, I did not ask to come here. All I know is I'm here. Now I'm here, and this is somebody telling me, well, if you don't get it right, you're going to hell. And you will help everything. I said, damn, whoa. I was in shock. It took me a long time to come out of it. I had to fight my way out of it. Don't tell me those people in the church is not in shock. Because if you took the fear factor out, they would not be in there. They're in shock. My sister right now, she's in a nursing home. She won't come and live with me. I'm going to beg her to come stay with me. And she goes, oh, I'm going to hell. I said, would you stop doing that? Because that's she thinks. They got her in shock. Jesus. It's sad how people are still in shock. They put us in a state of shock. Now go back to that Teddy Roosevelt thing, right? My understanding is now, I've been a long time since I checked this out. When I did check it out, that's the information I came up with. So don't hold me to it. But the understanding was that Filipinos, they weren't afraid of death. They didn't have guns, right? They was fighting with bow and arrows, whatever. So Teddy Roosevelt come in with guns, right? What happened is, when they would shoot them, they got hit, I would die from shock of being hit. It wasn't a life-threatening wound. So what happened is the Filipinos came with this briar patch thing. They were like, the rose had the thorns, so they were wrapping bodies around with this. It hurt. You'd be in pain, they wrapped your body. So it was so tight. So that if you got shot, then you would know you were shot because the pain would be no different from that's the big came with. And so they would keep on fighting. See, because once they got shot, they would stop. They would go, oh, I'm gonna die. They kept fighting. So they couldn't defeat them. So what they did was, understand it, that's when they came up with a 45. Now if you know the 45 bullet, that's big bullet, big as your thumb. It's hard to control it, but if it hits you, you're going to knock your ass down and you're going to know you hit. That's why Teddy Roosevelt became to 45. So when people got hit, they would knock it down. They knew it was hit. Your bypass, it would knock the ass down. So that's story I got. So that's a change. That's where I was told. People in a state of shock. And Farrakhan promotes that shock. They want to keep you in a state of shock. Keeping that church. Because shock is about shock, and the mother of shock is fear. Fear overwhelms you. That's what shock is. Fear overwhelms you. Christianity is the only religion on the planet that uses fear. Face fear to control you. And they have people in shock. They didn't know any difference. They told them, they inhaled in Holocaust. And you tell them, hey, if you don't obey me, when you die, you'll go to a place worse than this. Damn, so worse than this? And you're going to be there forever and ever? God damn. What you think I do to a mind? I had a problem with sister. I worked in Indiana. I had a contract up there. This is, she, amen sister, young sister. She tried to amen stuff on me. So I told her, sister, why are you telling people? Because she told me she ran a Sunday school class. I said, sister, you tell me your Sunday school. I said, don't you hurt them children? Teaching that kind of stuff? All right, I suppose you all give me that. You tell them they got to believe Jesus going to hell. Tell me you don't tell them that because you tell them that. They got a mother, father, that's it. No, they've been told that. You think you know what that does to a child? And then you put them here and tell them, okay, you don't tell them what's right. They got to figure out what's right. Hinduism, they got Buddhism, they got all this stuff. They got to figure out what's right. And then they got all the pressure of society and everything else. They got to work through all that and get it right. They got to get it right. They can't be a Baptist. They can't be a Methodist. They got to be a Presbyterian. They got to get absolutely right. Well, that dumbass is going to hell. Damn, see that? Ooh, we're going to stop that into that crap. Because it breaks my heart to my sister. So she's scared to death. She's a young year older than me. Scared to death she's going to die and go to hell. And you think I don't hurt people? Like I was telling people, I was at the gym one day. Right? I'm 76, right? I think about 32 at the time, right? This devil walks up on me in the gym. You see my gray hair and stuff, right? I don't know if you call me brother now because I don't care that crap, right? And you could die any time, man. You die. If you ain't got the Lord, you go to hell. Man, I don't know how that boy's still alive. Because I don't play that shit. I don't know how he's still alive. So I must have been cracked some that day. Because that dude, he was about to die. You don't tell me some crap. Because you're attacking me. You're attacking my mind. They're attacking your mind. That's a violent attack of violence. That's worse than shooting a damn gun. Shoot your gun's over. But this they telling you, hey, and plus I got your ass forever and ever. Whoa. I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell I'm still not in jail. Because he creep on me like that. Now I got protection from that. But most of the people don't. So he's saying to me, oh, see, I'm 70-some years old right now. You could die in a minute. You better have Jesus. You think that don't mean anything? That's something to me. As a matter of fact, I remember because my mother was born, died in rural Baptist, young woman in her early 20s. When she passed away, right? In her early 20s, I don't know what state of mind she was. I hope she didn't pass away with that on her mind. Father, he ended up converting before he passed. He was like, okay, right? Back after, we went to church every Sunday. When he used to have Sunday school all the time because I was asked, why is everybody white and stuff? But I think we went to church maybe a couple of times after she passed. And that was it. He never took his church himself. I think we went to church a couple of times. I don't remember. I know it wasn't much. She passed. And he passed 5 years later. He took me to the temple. But I'm telling you, people are shocked. If you take fear out of Christianity, the church be empty. Empty. Oh, brothers, sisters. They're going to pay for that. Now, they are going to hell. We're just pushing that. We got two hells. We got the hell for them. We got the hell for Negro butts. The tyrant, but that's no straw together. That might be a mess of black man. I mess thought about it, so look it up. See here, men's hearts fail them for fear, expectation, those things which coming upon earth, the powers have me shaken. That's it. The signs all around you, brothers and sisters. Scripture said, don't you see the signs around you? You're ignoring them. That's why you're being shocked. Yeah, the race war going in. America's right 101%. And I went through a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to go into it now. But see, everybody's exposing themselves. See, America, we human rights and all this stuff. Everything, like Sergeant Muhammad said, everything's going to be exposed. Everything's here to be exposed. They exposed themselves. Let us know about that because it's open, closed. That they genocide where they are, killed out America. They wouldn't be able to do that if America wasn't given the gun and the bullets. So it ain't about, see, everybody's claiming it was this, but now the cover's been, that's why the Quran, I think the Bible says, you pull your skirt up over your head. So everybody sees nakedness. I talked about this in the past. So it's not like I just start talking about this. So everybody's exposing themselves who they really are. Because that has to happen. That has to happen before judgment. All right, brothers and sisters. Let's get off here. Mm-hmm. It's been important. Okay, it's good. I'm going to show you many angry brothers and sisters. Everybody's, you see over there, they claim how they fell into a lie over there. We fear nobody but Allah. See, we must love. We shouldn't fear nobody but Allah. And little false Israel squeaking, and they scared to death. How you gonna let somebody come in your living room? Remember, that's their land over there. At least that's our land, but they occupied it. Listen, Europeans come down there, they go to a place like Palestine, and whoop their ass, beat them, and rape their women, and rape the men, and kill their starved children. And they say, and plus, not only that, they say, help them. Don't help their own people. But they fear nobody a lot. And then they ask America, can you protect us? Everybody being exposed. They're exposed as traitors and cowards. They stole our land. Everybody's being exposed who they are. And that's what will happen before destruction comes. So the judgment, so everybody say, judgment is just, as the Quran says. Everybody been exposed. America been exposed. They're thieves and robbers and liars. Look at the tricks they playing. Everybody's been exposed. Everybody's been exposed. In a few more days, right? When the war resumes, America's talking tough. You're going to witness this, brothers and sisters. Trump could be on his knees He kissed my ass. I'm getting tired. He begged, please help me. Help us. No one's going to help him. He says, they get banned, no one will help him. They will help. Oh, help us. Oh, they help. Please help us. Israel help us. Mexico help us. Everything's turned around. Everybody being exposed to who they are. What they are. And our people, they're going to be redeemed. How are you redeemed? You got that balloon underwater. You got your foot on the balloon. The balloon's underwater, right? Look at that damn balloon. The stupid balloon is underwater. You're wicked. You're evil. You're sick. You're no goddamn good. I'm going to eat your ass. Look at you. Oh, you have Saturday to do this in the morning, so-called me man farms. Now, I said, everybody's stupid. He telling the whole world, he does it for the whole world. Have you admit that you ain't nothing, no good niggas? I said, don't you might catch up on that one? Yeah, you only admit to the whole world that what they can say about you in the movies, on the TV and everything else is true. Yeah, I'm gonna stop beating my wife. I'm gonna stop raping my daughters. I'm gonna stop stealing. I'm gonna stop. That's not us. That's when they betray us. But he just had you admit that shit is true. And all of a sudden he's supposed to be Messiah, and he said, "Chris, see, I'm the good one. I'm good. Jesus, y'all fucked up. See, and see, I raised him up. See, oh, they go, well, how come things so bad now? How come you don't have any followers? It's me and them monthly. They weren't your people. 99% of them was the churches. They didn't show up the second time, did they? And you have our people sit there telling everybody, it's like, you cover everybody, you take a spray everybody with shit. Then tell everybody, yeah, I'm shitty. That's exactly what you're doing. See, I'm shitty, look at me, I'm shitty. When they spray the shit on you. Look at this dress it off. And they'll tell me, I'm shitty. I'm gonna stop being shitty. That's exactly what that was. Tell me that's not what it was. We admit the stuff that we have a responsibility for. So you take the balloon and you got it underwater. See that stupid balloon? If you move your foot, the balloon comes up. So that's going to expose us. Because once this war resumes, and their face taken off us, because the whole country's going to collapse. We start shining like diamonds. We come together immediately. See, everybody being exposed where they are. And they was the ones that they're supposed to be the ones holding us down. This is a day, like Mom says, this is a day of manifestation. We come together immediately. And it's perfect. See? But they, we shitty. We waited. No reference to people that spray shit on us. It's like we spray shit on ourselves, we like it. You better bet I wasn't there. I ain't the one I raised my hand up. You better bet I wasn't within 3 feet of his ass. I'm sure what shit looks like. Oh man. And they keep, yeah. The me man farts. Sick. How people got the demons doing that shit, yeah, that's them. We come with shit because y'all spray shit on us. We're not full of shit. You the one full of shit. Because they wash you up, you're gone. You can't clean shit. The shit's on us, not in us. Shit's in you. So that's why it comes out onto us. Because what's in us is what came out of you. Is that clear enough for you? What's on us came out of you because you brought us over here. So if we niggas, who made us? They blame the manufacturer. That means take niggers that make niggers. They're the niggers. I'm gonna move on, bro. And move on. I'm gonna do a short version because I went off the tangent. Right. So I'll go through this quickly and got a long weekend, but I do have a family situation, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be here every day. I am gonna get through this whole thing in a more detailed fashion. I'm trying to show it every 50 years. So we was niggas, then we got a first energy burst, right? Because niggas had no power, right? Us niggas, field niggas. Then we got first energy burst in 1860. But blues came out at the same time because it affects our attitude. And music controls the atmosphere. Music manipulates the atmosphere. If you manipulate something, it means you're controlling it. Music is controlling the atmosphere on a low level. What if you turn down? Turn the volume. See? And we the ones affect the atmosphere. Because blues is universal. So we had the blues. There was our concept of Negroes. Then we had two different ideas though. We had two different people. Field niggas, those are original people. House niggas was masses, rape children, black-faced devils. He let them house, he could trust them. Because that was daddy. They was family. Okay, then 50 years later, 20s. When you go back here, right? You want to stay. He want to stay with your master. They stayed. That was something getting hell away from you. Went to the cities. They had the blues, the cost of Negroes. Then 50 years later, jazz. And then you got two different ideas again. Now it's even more detail. Eurocentric. Oh, I just want to stay and work with you, Daddy. I want to be more like you. I want to stay in the house, Daddy, but now I want to be more like you. I want to grow up just like you, Daddy. Eurocentric. I want to say, I want to be nothing like you. I'll be like my people. Where my people at? Eurocentric. Then jazz. Is that a coincidence? Then we start calling ourselves niggas, start calling ourselves colors. Two different ideas. Of course, two different natures. And not 50 years later, look at this here. Everything, the Motown sound. Why we 50 years? And then now, I don't just want to be like you. I want to live. I want to be married. I want to be part of the family. I want to marry your daughter. I want to be part of integration. I want to live next to you. Everything. I want to be equal with you. Equal rights. I want equal part of the family. I want to be stepping in the family 100%. Totally. It's one of you. I was like, hell, I don't care what I'm going to get the hell away from here. And then new music, Motown sound, which rap on stuff came out of, rock on stuff came out of. They would stop calling themselves colors, black and African American. Martin King African American, that's black. You see? Every 50 years. We get more separated. And then what? 50 years later. That's where we are right now. And then the distinction is clear. They two different. So we still think we're the same people. And now it's distinct so far, we know we're two different people. So now you got a message coming telling you, no, they're different people, a different nature. One's demons and one's the true seed Abraham, Israel. You understand? That's what's going on here. See? And so he says, get the hell out of here. That's what's coming. He said, I want to stay here in America. Let's go quickly and let's see what kind of conversation this person would have. I got a way here, bro. So. If we get home, let's do it this way. That'll work. forever.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Waterford and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't you go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Does that sound, okay, brother, does that sound like, what side of the coin you think that was on? What side of the coin you think he's talking? He sounds like, if you believe that pattern I just gave you, what side of the coin you think he's on? Okay, but remember now, at this point in time, we realize that we're two different people. So there's animosity between us. Because once you understand the rules identified, and people identified the rules, and rules identified, right? Then all of a sudden, the rule, hey man, we thought you was sheep, but now we see you just look like sheep. So now you hate and want to get away from them. Now the wolves get mad because, hey man, we want to eat all, we have a, but now they can't eat you no more, sneak up on you. So now they got hatred. So let's see, let's go take a little further in this. Let's see what this has to say here.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother. Both sides. That's real. When we were alive, we set up schools. That's right. When we were alive, we had supermarkets. We owned buildings. We owned farmlands. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Ooh. What side of the coin you think he's on? What side you think he's on? You got a lot of love for this side. The devils, you don't want nothing happen to them. But he hope the worm eat your ass. Eat your ass. Pray Allah. And the worms eat your ass for this. Both sides, male and female. So, is he on the right side here? See? Is this pattern correct? Because he's for this side. He hates this side. Forget the fact that he's the one that killed this side. And Wallace stole all the money. Benjamin stole all the money. Left the Jews with nothing. So that's why I don't have all those things he said. Because they stole all the money and liquidated all the property and everything. So, what do you think? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm going to close out here in a minute, brothers and sisters, but again now, what do you think the one other side we're talking about? Well, again, he would hate the demons, hate Farrakhan, and put him out. He's the son of the devil, which is true. That means he belonged on the other side. You don't see Abraham. Yet you see Abraham on the right side. Plus he's saying it's time to go home. That's the covenant. He's supporting Elijah. He's continuing. He said Elijah prepared the way for him, so he's furthering that cause. He's furthering the cause of Master Prophet Muhammad to get us home to Arabia. So that's what he be talking about. So you choose, brother, sisters. You figure it out. So we got here now, it doesn't close. His heart's filled with, in other words, if their heart's filled with expectation, because I'm saying the science over there, and the science here, because they bring the military into the so-called black neighborhoods, so in cities. They get ready to close in on you. It says that you're screwed with them. They're closing on you. You know, there's a lot of things I can say about this, but it's also other things that you have consideration. Because they don't see, one of the reasons, from their point of view, they got so-called slavery. They don't need you in the fields anymore. There's the Industrial Revolution. So they have machines and stuff to do it. They don't need you anymore in the fields. So they had you in the plants, in the factories, competing with devils. That's what NASA put you in there. When the devils made $5 an hour, they said, we give you 50 cents an hour. And the devil said that we can't have that. So that's what that was what it was all about. You're still a slave. You're still a slave now. Not a slave, but you don't realize that because they call you employee. Okay, so let me just say it this way. They lose control over you. That's all about, because now you start energizing, but they trying to make sure you don't realize it. You're working against yourself. But if I go down that path, I've been talking a long time, bro, so I'm not going to do that. The point is that what's going over there is going to be happening here. Well, maybe I need to touch on that a little bit. Because industrial, they didn't need it. So right now, there's a big threat and you don't realize it. This so-called AI. It's in our favor, but we don't realize it because they use it against us because we don't know any better. This system can withstand AI. Because they won't need you. They don't need you right now in Popeyes. They don't need you in McDonald's. In the aerospace, they got robots that can do that even better. And all they got to do is charge it. They charge. The problem is, what are they going to do with you? Then you go crazy. That's why they put military stuff in your neighborhoods, because they got to pull that in, because they're competing against China. America's broke, financially broke right now. They can't afford to keep paying money. And they got another problem, because if you don't have these jobs, who's going to buy the stuff that they, but their minds can't handle all that. It's too much for their brains. Remember, if you're a winter person, your brain can't handle spring. It's too confusing for you. What do we do? Well, you know, it's winter. Because your idea is, how do I keep snow from melting? You can't keep snow from melting. Well, you build a giant refrigerator? You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're thinking, it's nothing. Your thoughts is not going to be confusing. You can't figure out how to maintain the winter and the spring. How to keep my snowman? How to keep my igloo? But that's what you're thinking. So you're going to be confused but you're desperate to keep that going. You're desperate to maintain the winter, and you can't. Now, right now, the AI stuff coming as part of spring, and one thing they see, oh man, my igloo's going to melt. Let me see if I can keep my igloo melting. See? So, we don't need people working on these jobs anymore. And nobody's working on these jobs, right? Who's going to have money to buy the stuff? But we got to do that because China's got it, and they can produce stuff a little cheaper than we can. You know, it gets too. It's not. In other words, they can't come with a solution. There's nothing, no solution. Every solution backfires. If you're going from the winter to the spring, every solution comes will backfire. It's not. There's no way you can't figure anything. This happened. That's going to happen. This going to happen. That's happening right now. I said, well, we got to do something. It's never going to work. Nothing. Zero. That's where you are right now. They don't say they've been division, confused. But one of the things they're looking at right now, that's right in their face, they have to put AI in there. That means they can't handle jobs for you. They don't need you. It means you out of work and they know what you're going to do. That's why Trump's putting the military in the cities, and he's getting approval where he can shoot you if you riot anything. Because that's what you're going to be doing. That's one of the threats, but you not tell me about that? No, I'm not telling you. You probably don't even know if it did. But the point is that it says, if your hearts are feeling from the expectation, what you think your heart's going to do when actually the realization comes? That's why they're having a shock. Move on, brothers and sisters. See, all these other people out there, they're deceiving you, bullshitting you, and everything else. Okay, I'm going to talk this, I'm going to close. Just right here, what I'm trying to represent here is, you see it, the gear in the middle, that's discipline. See, we have, on the right side, it's us. We have a lot of discipline by nature. They're very undisciplined. They have very little discipline. That's why I keep sending prophets to them. Because law is a discipline. That's what law is, discipline. Scriptural law, discipline. That's why I tell them, you obey the law. I tell them, if you don't obey the law, something's going to happen to you. That's what Moses told him. So you did that to your head? He didn't say if you don't believe in God, you believe. He said, no, if you don't obey the law, this will happen to you. Keep that law. There's discipline, but they have very little discipline. So you got to keep sending prophets. Right? Yeah. Because we wanted them to rule. We don't have any natural discipline, but we have a lot. We don't have any energy deprivation. So energy times discipline equals power. So the yellow represents power. So they got power because they had a lot of energy. But we had no energy, so we had no power either. We just had discipline. We know we have a lot of discipline because it took discipline to get to the Holocaust. And I don't know if you figured that out by now. It took discipline to submit to that. They just couldn't do it. Jamaicans, we was able to, it took discipline to stay, to ride it out. And we did. So we have a lot, that proved that we had a lot of discipline because what we wanted about purging, coloring, we wanted the best. So we put the Holocaust, so we know only the best will survive it. Because let's make man our likeness, our image. Let's put God. That's like putting another in the fire to burn out the impurities. So we know only ones survive that, they have to have a lot of discipline. Now they need energy. So here it is. So they had power, so they controlled us. But they had very little discipline. So instead, all of this is gravity. That's the graph I come up with, right? Let's look at this. Let's go a little further. And see, we start getting some energy a little bit. But since we have a lot of discipline, discipline times energy equals power. So say, for instance, you got your discipline is 100, but your energy is 10. That's 1,000 power, right? What if your discipline, so hold on, let me back up. Say energy is 100, discipline is 10. Your energy is 100, discipline is 10. 1,000 power. What if your discipline is 100, energy is only 10? Same amount of power. You have to have much energy. That's what they don't want. They don't want us to have as much power as them. So they don't teach you discipline. They try to make you undisciplined. Oh, hang out, man. Skip part. They don't teach you discipline here. They teach you obedience. Obey the law. They know if you need discipline, a little bit discipline, you have power, as much power as they have. If there's a little more energy, you have more power than them. You have them under control. That's why they don't want you to have. I teach discipline either. Your mind, all that bullshit they be teaching you. They teach you discipline. They don't bring discipline over there. I was over there. I know they don't. I told you about this story about this brother who's a captain. He said he got young brothers in their 20s. I said, brother, you got gout. I said, you need 1 meal a day to work for you? He said, you mean that stuff works? He's a captain. Yeah, the dynamic stuff. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of hummus teachers. I'm not getting much that in the next hour deep in that today. But the point is, that's why they try to get you, see, undisciplined. Because I know that's this. So you don't have to believe, you don't have to do anything for self. Let Jesus do it. He sat at a table, and the man went out there, worked his ass off, performed a table. He said, thank you, Jesus. Because once you get disciplined, Elijah Muhammad starts teaching discipline, also bam, you start getting power. That shook them up. So he says, Farrakhan, he got discipline away. He's not teaching discipline over there. See what I'm saying? Okay, I'm giving you a general. Go a little further. You see, the discipline, remember, the discipline is weakening because they have those discipline. See? So the discipline is weakening. So you got a lot more energy, but look, you have a little power. Because the discipline is decreasing. You see right now? They're getting away from the law. Let me say it this way, I'm going to close. The so-called New Testament. The Catholic Church adopted the so-called New Testament, and they misread it. But anyway, they didn't break the seals. So this time, oh, we don't have to obey the law. That's what Paul told them. That's another story altogether. Paul telling them that Paul never met Jesus. He said that. If you want to go along with the story that way. He said, we don't forget about the law. That's what he tell you. Forget about the law. Forget about discipline. Just believe in Jesus. He died for you. And what happened? That took him in a dark age of 1,000. They lost power. The Roman Empire fell. They lost power for 1,000 years. And what happened? Britain, they got the first break loose from the Catholic Church. They went back to the Old Testament, called the Puritans, all that kind of stuff. Old Testament called Protestant. Protestant Church went back to discipline, the law. All of a sudden became world powers. That's what happened. Go check it out. See, they start practicing discipline, and they became world powers. In America, my God came out of that. But now they're slipping again. That's why they're desperate. They make America great. America's failing because they're losing discipline. They get away from the law. Oh, like Jesus again. Let's get high. Let's party. You see, they win a war. They get ass kicked all over the place. Okay? But now we got more energy. Our power's increasing. So we have more power than they naturally. But the point is, we're not applying that discipline. And that's what Elijah came to give you that, and Farrakhan took it away, and that's my job, to give you that discipline back. When you get discipline, you become a seemingly great army that they can't touch. Greater power overcomes lesser power. Greater pressure overcomes lesser power. That's pressure. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. And look at this quick, then we close. Every act has an opposite reaction. So right now, see, we all are scattered. We're having discipline, we're all scattered. They're together. But Superman is going to bring every act has an opposite reaction. So if Superman brings us into control, what happens? Boom. Every act is they come apart. See the beauty of it? They come apart. That's they're going to try to stop. Because we come together, they come apart. That's the reaction. So if they got control of us, we start to control ourselves. That means they lose control of themselves and us. See? Coming in spring, moving in spring, we get more control. And we come in and they'll become a city great army, and they're all broken up. Every action has an opposite reaction. Understand that. So I'll come together, cause them, because they're the opposite of us, cause them to come apart. That's why Christ stopped us. Because said that their fear was that if war broke out, we'd come together and fight against them and lead the country. Their fear of us, everything, make sure we never come together. If we come together, cause them to come apart. That's the reaction. I think maybe they're brothers and sisters. Yeah, I'll talk this tomorrow. We're going to stay, brothers. I'm going to leave it there.
One, 6, 1, 15.
We have a lot of that going on, so we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you heard that. Donald Trump is a believer in eugenics. He believes that white people are the superior race. And inner city is code for black people. And he believes black people cannot now work on the farms. I guess they're not good enough for that. So Hispanic people can do it because they have the backs for it. This is what this man is saying out loud in interviews. He is a racist. It's been proven time and time again. The man had Mein Kampf on his bedside table that he would read at night. Enough to let you know where he stands on that. Just more outrageous, racist things from Donald Trump. They want to arrest those who can do the farm work well until their backs give out. And then he'll probably ship them to El Salvador or some other country. Just more vile statements from the president and let you know where he stands.
When they were arresting people for praying outside of abortion clinics. I mean, I do think the UK, and I say this as, someone who is half English, I think it's like reached, or it is quickly reaching a point where democratic reforms are going to be pretty tough because of the demographic change. And that, of course, the point of importing all these people is to overwhelm the people who live there who disapprove of the program. So you don't have to care what they think because you just bring in new people, and their will becomes like all that matters. And so I don't think you're going to fix these things through elections at some point, probably pretty soon. And I just worry a place like the UK, Canada is another, a bunch of different countries in the West are at the point where they're literally revolutionary. They are poised for revolution. And as someone who really doesn't support revolution and hates violence and hates civil war above all, I'm worried about that. I mean, I don't see how this is fixed. Starmer, who's, he's just an instrument of larger forces, but he's a poisonous character, obviously, who's really hurt your country. He's in there for 4 more years. And so you wonder, people are going to start to get really radical in a scary way. I think this is going to happen. And the people in charge don't seem to care.
Well, you're already seeing it. You are seeing the anger beginning to manifest itself. And I completely understand the anger. I don't, like you, I abhor any form of violence. But I do understand the anger when you have, Keir Starmer campaign, I'm going to smash the gangs that allow these little boats to come over the channel, delivering tens of thousands of people illegally into the country. And they then get put into these so-called asylum hotels where they're given a pretty good lifestyle. Certainly a far better lifestyle than many people really struggling at the moment in the UK. And of course, far from smashing the gangs, it turned out yesterday that he's smashing new records for the number of people coming in illegally on the boats. It's out of control. And the British public are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly?
Are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly? You'd really have to force a lot of people to go back to their countries of origin, millions of people, and you need to do it really soon. And are they actually willing to do that? I don't know, but these are existential questions that we have been browbeat into ignoring for decades. But the question is is Ireland Ireland? If it's majority non-Irish? Oh, shut up, they're Irish. No, they're actually not Irish. Same with the UK, same with England, Scotland, Wales. It's all changing so fast. Nothing like this has ever happened in all of history, except when, say, the Mongols swept across the steppe and raped everybody. That was true demographic change on this scale. But even that wasn't as profound as what we're seeing in every white country around the world. I would say the West, but Australia and New Zealand also. So, what is that? Now, my brain is not big enough to understand what that is. I have a lot of theories about it, but I don't know if they're true. All I know is what the numbers are, and that's real, and no one feels that he can say it. Everyone's like, oh, well, if that were happening in China or India or Malaysia or Senegal, it doesn't matter. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Like, the population's totally different. Look at graduation. Pick, I don't know, King's College Law School, and look at the graduation picture for the last 30 years. Who's in it? Just like, let your eyes tell you the truth for once. Like, this is a total change in population. Is it better? Is it worse? Can't have that conversation. Who's pushing this? Does the population want it? The population clearly doesn't want it. There's no polling that's meaningful on the subject. I mean, there's no referendum on it. You don't get to decide. You've got no voice in it, other than you get to go to jail if you complain loudly enough about it. What is this? I think it's the biggest and darkest thing that has happened in the last 1,000 years, for sure. And I think it's leading somewhere really, really bad. It's not happening by accident, that's obvious, because it's only happening in white countries.
I mean, I think that...
Don't shut up, white supremacist. In fact, I'm not a white supremacist.
Well,
I'm just noticing what the hell's going on.
I think most people I've spoken to about this in the UK, most people have always viewed the UK to be a very tolerant, multicultural, cosmopolitan place to live. That's why so many people want to come here. And people have no problem with that. And it's been very successful for a long period of time.
It's multicultural? What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law, in a multicultural country, is Sharia law... What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law, in a multicultural country, is Sharia law every bit as valid as English common?
No, people don't want Sharia law here. No.
A lot of people do. Wait, hold on. I don't know what you mean. Multiculturalism itself is the lie designed to subvert a society. No, a society has a culture. You can argue about what it is or ought to be. It's not necessarily the same as race. It's connected to race, but it's not the same. People from different races can buy into your culture. That was kind of the beauty of the West. But a multicultural socially is not sustainable. There's never been
your society is
one
about
culture will dominate.
Hang on, surely the United States of America, given the very way it was created, is the epitome of a multicultural society. And my point I was going to make to
it's absolutely not. No. It's a multiracial society.
Yeah.
Though it was not actually a multiracial society up until pretty recent. It's just like 90% white for most of its existence, but whatever. But you did have different peoples, you had different religions. That was all totally fine, but there was one culture, it's American culture. There's no such thing as a multicultural society. It's not sustainable. One culture will overwhelm the other. Again, it's not the same as race. It's not identical to race. It's connected, but it's not the same. But multiculturalism is by definition insane. No, it's never happened. It never will happen. One culture will predominate. It will impose its values on everybody else. I mean, the gay thing, which was not a thing 40 years ago, gay was a slur, all of a sudden becomes multicultural there. There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
Those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You don't have one God in every society. Sorry.
Your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
If you're rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist, because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's
determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So values can evolve.
there. There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You worship one God in every society. Sorry.
Your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the founding fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. Natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
When you're rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's multicultural, we can all live and have radically different values, that's just not true. It's never been true. It never will be true. So you're going to have one culture, one worldview predominate over another and dominate and suppress all dissent. That's just what it is.
I would point to the United States of America and the United Kingdom as two shining examples, albeit not completely without their flaws, the shining examples of places that are deemed by the rest of certainly feel that about my country.
Well, I certainly think that inherent in Christianity is the notion of tolerance, and that draws from a core Christian concept, which is free will. You cannot force someone to convert. There's never been conversion by the sword in Christianity. People decide to believe in it. And so that is central to the religion, therefore it's been central to the society. Western civilization is Christian civilization, and so we call that tolerance. It's a respect for your inherent God-given right to make a choice about what you believe. Okay, so of course, that's always been a feature. My only point is, a society has a commonly agreed upon set of beliefs, rules, and laws that are the definition of the society itself. That's what society is. So you can't have competing. You can't have, gay world and Sharia world living co-equally in a society. That does not happen. It will never happen. So you have to pick one. Are we the Sharia society? Are we the party time gay rights society? Which one? And you can't face that reality, so you're just sort of snoozing along until the inevitable point where you can wake up and be like, my values have no bearing on what our society is anymore, because we've been invaded by other people with a totally different worldview, and they're now in charge. And that day is coming very soon for your country, and maybe it'll improve it. I don't think the UK could be a lot worse than it already is. It's this kind of disgusting, sad, self-hating, suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English person, but that day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architect. That's a choice that we're all going to face. Suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English. That day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architects of mass migration. Sorry.
I would question your characterization of my country as a sad, disgusting, the rest of it suicidal nation. I feel none of those things. I feel very happy to be in the United Kingdom, and I feel that there are lots of very happy.
Our system, the Western system, which is very distinct from the Eastern system, very distinct, and it's distinct on this one precise point, we believe, and have always believed since this country was founded, since your country became, not a pure monarchy, but even when it was a pure monarchy, the belief in the West, because of Christianity, was the worst thing you can do is punish the innocent. That's the worst thing you can do. That's worse than not punishing the guilty. And we often said that to each other. We no longer say that because there is a pretty concerted effort to blur the meaning of these terms. But I'm not going to be deterred from defining words precisely. Terror is murdering people, killing people, punishing people who committed no crime. Period.
So when the Israeli government says it has repeatedly that even though over 20,000 completely innocent children are believed to have died in their response to what Hamas did on October the 7th at the hands of the IDF, there are many on the pro-Palestinian side who say that Israel is behaving like terrorists too in the way that they have gone about conducting this war. Would you go as far as to say that?
One of the things that I really object to now is this relentless focus on Israel, which, by the way, is a foreign country that I have nothing to do with.
We've done this before. Now, maybe today things are different, and we will end up living in a nation that is sharply divided and may ultimately produce something else. But I'm an American. I love my country. I want to see it stay together. I'm interested in social cohesion, which means that I think our laws, customs, and culture have to be dominant. We can accept some diversity on the edges, but not fundamental division. I think we're in a state of fundamental division. So when I bring up Sharia law, I've sat in many discussions with many people that said, well, I don't care what people look like, but I do care about Sharia law, and I don't want that practiced anywhere near my family or in my country. And that's something you should be aware of. So the notion that someone can come here and say, well, that's part of my religion and we're going to abide by Sharia law, they're going to find serious resistance and opposition in the country. That's It's because it matters. It's this thing we call societal cohesion. Nations do not exist on their own. They have a core population. Our core population from the very beginning was always at least 80% European and Christian and about 15 to 20% African. But when you start bringing in huge numbers, millions, who are fundamentally different from the core population, you are going to get violence, anger, and conflict. How many times have you heard people say, if you bring people in from the developing world, what do you get? The developing world. And now we've got that. You can't bring in hundreds of thousands of people from Somalia, plant them, of all places, in Minnesota, and then be shocked that, no, they're not Americans. They're not really interested in being Americans. They're foreigners living on American soil. Nobody wants to say that publicly. If you do, oh, well, you're a racist. Well, you know, the world is full of racists. The real war that's going to decide our fate is not going to be fought anywhere overseas. It's going to be fought right here inside the United States. Are we going to survive as a republic, as an English-speaking republic that rests on the foundations of Western civilization? Or are we going to become something else?
One point that is
The Constitution was completed in 1789. I think we had 5 million people living in the 13 British colonies. We were 90% white, that is excluding the Africans who were in the country who had been brought here as slaves. But we were 90% white. We were 90% Protestant. And this may be hard for you to believe, but the people that wrote that were trying to protect all of the Protestant sects from a state church on the model of the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church. That's one of the reasons it was almost 100 years or more after that before people began to finally accept Catholicism as a religion, because it was viewed as political power. My point to you is the Constitution is outdated. The way we are governed is outdated. It has to be re-examined. Nobody in 1789 imagined that anybody would come to the United States except another lunatic, religious fanatical Protestant who hated the Church of England. That's what people feared. That's what they thought of. The Constitution that we have does many good things, but I would argue that the Bill of Rights is ultimately more important. The Bill of Rights is vital and essential, and that needs to be defended. But the Constitution and the way we govern and the things that we're doing, it's out of date. It doesn't fit our needs. And that's back to my comment on something given has no value. You have to earn it. And we haven't made anybody earn their place in this country. I'm talking about people like me that have been here forever. My first ancestor stepped off the boat in 1681. So we've got to get back to some notion of national service, because national service promotes national integration. It addresses some of these problems that you're discussing. Now, I know that you may not want to conform and may not want to be as I am, but I'm an American and nobody questions that. Nobody ever will. If you don't want to stand out and be questioned, then I suggest that you change your appearance, because I don't think it's life or death for you to wear what you wear.
I think this conversation.
It's not fun, because it's leading to violence that could have otherwise been avoided. You see, every great nation, every large nation can always accept some number of people into its ranks that are different from them. It's always been the case. But if you suddenly import millions, which is what's happened here and happened in Europe, then you threaten the core gene pool. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a problem. And we can all think that there isn't, and you can insist there isn't, but that's the view. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to address it truthfully and openly. Stop pretending it's not a problem. It's a problem.
I mean, what's also a problem is white supremacy, and that's.
No, because you're saying you're different, you're going to remain different, and you don't think that if that's not compatible with being an American, then the hell with it. That's what you're going to do.
Well, then what do you make then of, white American people who convert, let's say, to Islam and choose to cover? Are they not American anymore?
Listen, if they want to do that, that's obviously their business. I don't know how many are out there that do that. I think again, it's ill-advised. I think you have to hold the society together. There has to be an agreement on certain things, customs, culture, way of life. And unfortunately, if you're going to practice rigidly a brand of Islam that demands certain things, and this is why I asked right off the bat, do you support Sharia law?
I'm a Muslim. What being a Muslim means is I follow the guidelines of my religion, which is a peaceful.
Does your religion dictate to you Sharia law?
My religion dictates to me to be a good human being, to be good to my neighbors,
that the most powerful force in today's Republican Party is represented by what Charlie Kirk said. It is this drive to make America a white Christian nation. I got to tell you, this is what they say privately. This is not what they say publicly. This is what Charlie Kirk said publicly.
And Joe, again, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because you know these people very, very well. Yeah. You said it yourself. You were one of the strongest voices. You were one of the folks who understood the incendiary language when you were in Congress, when you had your radio show, and how people loved when you did it. And then when you chose to apologize for that and turn away from it, oh my God, they literally have just tried to destroy you because of that.
Yeah, again, you know the deal, Roland, right? I came out publicly against Trump 7 years. For 7 years, I put up with death threats on a regular basis. Nobody is welcome in that party unless you bow down to what this force is, this MAGA force. And again, look, there have been some people on the left who've celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Shame on them, be better people, but this is much worse, Roland, what my former friends are doing on the right, because they are turning this into a holy war. When you say we declare war on the left because of what some 22-year-old young guy did in Utah, and then you declare war on the whole left, that's a lot worse than celebrating Charlie Cook's murder, because that's dishonest, but that's also inciting hate and violence. And Roland, look, Trump's an idiot. So yeah, Trump says the left, the problem in the country is the left. J.D. Vance is not an idiot. What did J.D. Vance say today, right? He was subbing for Charlie Kirk on his radio show, and he spent the entire show going after the left, going after them, they, them. Man, Democrats need to wake up, Roland. This is a really serious deal by my former colleagues. The stuff that I hear privately from them right now, Roland, for the last 5 days, I mean, they want to go to war. This is a holy war.
Oh, it absolutely is. And what really jumps out at me on this very thing here, Joe, and I've been saying this, I played the speech 2 weeks ago that mainstream media just ignored, of Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, who gave a speech at NatCon, Peter Thiel's group, where he literally gave a white nationalist speech, where he said our ancestors fought for this country to be ours and no one else. He was talking about white people. He was basically saying, if you are Black, Latino, Asian American, or even Native American, America is not for you. And folks just ignored it. And so people need to understand, again, what they're saying, why they're saying it. And yes, there are many evangelicals, any very conservative white Christians who are pushing this as well. And you nailed it. They want a holy war. They want a race war. They want this to be a white country. It is clear as day.
And Roland, really important point, Charlie Kirk at only 31, the impact he had because he was one of the most successful pushers of this white Christian nationalistic idea. And so I think that's why all of his defenders are out there so strenuously denying he said anything divisive, because they know if you really go through Charlie Kirk's public record, everything he said about people of color and Black women and Muslims and gays and transgenders, if people took the time to go through all of that, and that was put out for average people to see, they'd be blown away by it. That's why his defenders are like supercharged right now. They don't want that record to be seen.
Today, you mentioned, and I mentioned as well, Vice President J.D. Vance sitting in to do his show. And listen to this man just blatantly lie, Joe. Play it.
I read a story in The Nation magazine about my dear friend, Charlie Kirk. Now, The Nation isn't a fringe blog. It's a well-funded, well-respected magazine whose publishing history goes back to the American Civil War. George Soros' Open Society Foundation funds this magazine, as does the Ford Foundation and many other wealthy titans of the American progressive movement. The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never uttered those words. He made an argument against affirmative action as a policy. He criticized a specific Supreme Court justice as an individual. He never said anything about Black women as a group. He made an argument for judging people of all races and backgrounds by their own individual merits.
Bullshit.
Okay, Joe, this is actually what he said.
No, Roland, that's utter bullshit.
In fact, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color.
All right, Joe, he literally said it. Not only that, Vance lied. Soros does not fund the nation. So he sat there and flat out lied.
And Roland, remind me, what's J.D. Vance's job? He's the vice president, and yet he had time today to do a radio show for a former right-wing podcaster. I mean, look what they're not even, Roland, they're not even subtle about it, what this White House is doing. They believe, man, the path to victory is fear, hate, and division. And that's what they're putting out there. That was Charlie Kirk literally going after 4 accomplished black women by saying they didn't have the brain power to get where they got. This is what he believed. And this is what MAGA believes. And that, again, Roland, broken record, that's why Charlie Kirk was so damn successful. Why he had such a big audience.
Yeah, and not only that, you take Nick Fuentes, who's to the right of Charlie Kirk. The night of or the day after Kirk was shot and killed, Fuentes had 200,000 people watching him live. And so what you have this fervor. And so when I listen to Trump and Vance and all these people talking about, how the left, they're indoctrinating. No, and you know this very well, the indoctrination. We've had people who formerly are with Turning Point USA put out videos talking about how it was really this cult-like figure, this messianic figure that they sort of set Kirk up as, and how they want them to follow that. And so that's what's going on here. These people are not trying to have open dialogue. And not only that, Joe, you take Trump, okay? Trump was very clear in saying he was not going to call Governor Tim Walz after those 4 folks were shot in Minnesota. 2 were killed, including former Speaker of the House and her husband. Now today he's saying, he never even heard of Melissa Hortman, and if the governor had asked him, he would have, of course, lowered the flags to have staff. I'm sorry, he's also lying. He knew about her. He knew about the shooting, but he was so arrogant that he said, 2 Democrats, a Democrat Speaker of the House, shot and killed? Yeah, I don't care, but lower the flags to have staff with Charlie Kirk. Flies body on Air Force 2. Do a memorial service at the Kennedy Center. Do another one at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. Give him the Medal of Freedom. And I'm telling you, they're going to give him a state funeral. That's what you're seeing right now. And then you got Peter Hegseth going after members of the military who said anything negative in the aftermath of his death. You've got Kirk supporters creating a database of people of every social media post, and then even Vance saying on the podcast, you call their employer. So the so-called free speech people all of a sudden are saying, if you say anything negative about Charlie Kirk, after what took place last week, we're going to come after you, come after your job. I thought they hated cancel culture, Joe.
Yeah. Roland, I remember back in my right-wing radio days, I would come on every day, and there was always some story about some leftist group on a college campus that couldn't handle speech that made them uncomfortable.
To say.
Roland, this is scary, and you and I are old enough, man, to remember huge figures in American history who were gunned down, struck down, military leaders, civil rights leaders. We are treating this 31-year-old podcaster, MAGA influencer, like he's Jesus Christ. So I come from the right. Why are my old colleagues and friends on the right doing this, Roland? Because the right wants a religious war. Let's just call it. They want a civil war. They want a holy war. That's why they're putting him up to be some Jesus-like martyr.
Absolutely. I mean, Glenn Beck literally came out and said he was a civil rights leader. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. I've seen people say, I've seen a lot of these videos, I'm leaving my church because my pastor did not mention him. This was a Christian warrior. And let's just be clear. You said it, white Christian nationalists. It's slaveholder religion. We heard a lot of this stuff during slavery, during Jim Crow, things along those lines. And this whole idea about, it was about debate. It was about, exchange of ideas. I mean, come on, let's just stop it. And so we see what's going on here. We see the games that are being played. And then what gets me, Joe, is this whole deal of, oh my God, the left, how they indoctrinated him and the accused killer going to a university. The dude was at a university for one semester, Joe. You're trying to tell me that one semester at a mostly white institution in Mormon, Utah, which is not a liberal bastion, somehow just radicalized him? I mean, it really is showing folks the hand they're trying to play.
Yeah, and I think even on top of that, Roland, I think it was like some technical school. So it wasn't some crazy liberal arts school for a semester. Look, cut through all the BS. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has publicly said that America should be a white Christian country. This is what animates my former party. Roland, you know me, right? Tea Party Hellraiser. I don't come from the left. I left the Republican Party when the Republican Party became MAGA. And my fellow Democrats and folks on the left need to understand, now these people are on the right. Now this is MAGA. MAGA now are the snowflakes. MAGA, Roland, they now need their safe spaces. It's funny, but it's not funny. And you're right about J.D. Vance, man. He just flat out lied. I mean, the last 30-year history of political violence in this country, the vast majority of it is right-wing. It always has been. And they put out this lie that it's only on the left. It's not even, Roland, a both sides problem between the left and the right. There is political violence on the left, but the vast majority is on the right, and they know that, and they're lying because they're trying to inflame their base. And Roland, I hear from their base every day. And let me tell you something, they are inflamed. I mean, they are ready to march and grab their you-know-what. This is a scary time.
It is, and folks need to understand what is certainly at stake. Joe Walsh, I appreciate you joining us on the show.
history of the cross, known by their works. What's the history of the cross? Behind the history of the cross: murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorize people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7, rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This is Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians, in the name of Jesus. They said Jesus cursed black people. They call them Ham. Cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus. Raped our women incessantly. Pissed in our mouths. Made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, I get, well, not clean up, but make it look more attractive, I guess, by calling it chitlins. That's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what they do was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 40 years ago. No, it wasn't 40 years ago. I don't think it was a million years ago. It was 20 years ago. It lasted for 400 years. As they're doing today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza, when they did 1,000 times worse. What's going on in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It was genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population. The genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets. Knowing there was full of disease. Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea from seabird animals. So-called common cold was not common. It didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When it was written out women, they had a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught that there was God's will. God's will. Enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? Every time they arrest our people, your rap sheet, what's your rap sheet? Are you going to judge people for murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Theft. You stole his land. You murdered his people. And you crushed the native people here When the braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill the women and snatch the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Bacon, they all came to Columbus. What could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they're serving. They have known by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. What's going on in Gaza is just a reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. They got women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. They told them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff they would do. Make one slave defecate and slave and sit and slave up in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so they could spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. There's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? Legacy of the cross. What's your rap sheet? America? Gog? What's your rap sheet? Magog? Britain? What's your mention? What's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel. What's your rap sheet? Then they colonized Africa. They steal the ribbons off everyone. It's the legacy of Christianity. It's been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war to finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
gonna make it. Sure, you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Sure, you ain't talking about that, are you? We ain't going back to Africa. No. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holiday. When you should be honoring Jesus, you are buying bunny rackets. And inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Of her name, come out of her religion, come out of her culture, come out of her way of life, come out of her educational system.
People. And they will put all the shows of Lord. And they should. Jesus, that none of homes. They stood and said, it is a parent. And behold, I wanted to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship, and tiding chains themselves bound together. And when they must put off on this memorable shows, they took their stand that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and strange people who have chosen to them every vow from their native land that they love. Going to be the West Indians that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that were destroyed. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us. When this ship was made of Jesus, this is how that we have always been deceived by the white man. Trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to our a mental sleep, thinking that we all are leaving. This is church. My brothers, this is very hard for us to people to accept today. Imagine our parents standing in front to return to that native land and people and you yesterday. Trying to save the very minute that brought in subjection to that will. You know, turning away from your ordinary plan and turning it back towards our Christmas house and our and it who have destroyed us and seeks to destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your peace. They're trying to make love with the spirit people that destroyed you in your past. Do you feel? I do so. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There's no justice here for you and me. Why did not you want to be separated and be returned to the Lord? I think that push. They go to your parents on the Eastern Shore of North crying and praying to God to be returned to that arms 400 years ago. Now, they you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemn for being such fools. And now, to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as fools. When I walked into the separated, they go to your arm, salvation for your son. The white man said he opened. Remember that.
are we gonna make it? Sure, you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Sure, you ain't talking about. No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holidays. When you should be honoring Jesus, you are buying bunny rackets and inviting your children to pay eggs for some Easter. Come out of it. Get the Santa Claus of your house and trees. That is the way of the pagans. Come out of St. Valentine's Day. Is that? Excuse me. Come out of a name. Come out of a religion. Come out of a culture. Come out of a way of life. Come out of an educational system.
People. And they will put all the shows of Lord. And they should. Jesus, none of homes. No out spirit. They stood and said, it is a parent. And behold, wisdom. I wanted to return. With that hand stretched out towards that ship, and tidings showed themselves bound together. And when they must put all on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and these strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country. Strange people who had proven to them every vow from their native land that they were going to be with that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that were destroyed. They soon discovered that all mischief that they were being brought here. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us. But this was named Jesus. This is that we have always been deceived by the name Jesus. The name Jesus to our in a mental sleep, thinking that we all are leaving this is earth. My brothers, this is very hard for us to even today. Imagine our parents standing in front to return to that native land and people and you here today. Crying to see the very minute that brought You know, turning away from your ordinary life and turning it back towards our prison house and our and it who have destroyed us and seeks to destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to you. They're trying to make love with the people that destroyed you in your past. Do you feel? And even today, there are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There's no justice here for you and me. Why did it not do what to be separated and be returned to your take over your parents on the eastern shore of North praying and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. You like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemned for being such fools. And now, what to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as fools. When I walked into these separated, they go to your arms and application for your son. The white man said he opened. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suman Rahim here. National Covenant. Okay, brothers, this has been a year now. And Found him home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Found him home after 40 years. It's been a year now. There was an agreement made from slave master. It said, your choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance. Arabia. So we left. If the original people decided they wanted to give up the inheritance and traded for a place in America. Reconciliation with their former slave master. It's their choice. They chose, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go over there sand and all that stuff. We want to stay in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with a slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we get reports of how things are going over there. And it's not that sounds too good. How things are going in America with their reparations. Because they was given 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. They got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. He was following this in Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them. They stay there, 6 states, right? Their own land. And they can make reconciliation with former slave master. They're not devils, not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, they were just, there's some things wrong, but now they don't make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody paid $1 million. So, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. And you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. Thank you. Thank you, Farrakhan. And this was a year ago. They got 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. They're rejoicing. Oh, man, they're so happy. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago. We left. We in Arabia. They still back in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This is the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. And now we get reports, so what's going on right now? Let's see. Oops, he says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And just those 6 states. So, and now, they were big and massive, they came asking to turn the power. Why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling about 6 states and never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So, these big men, massive, can you come out and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told them 6 days of promising that he would have prepared them for, right, in schools and education, whatever they needed. But I guess they didn't, because they said, oh, we're not begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. Then what? This is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later. It's like, they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? It's a crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no, they look at the farmers, when they're doing, farmers say, oh, so then, master, what's happening here? How come crap? It turned out that the rain they gave wasn't that fertile. A year later, how's it going? Crop failure. And now so what's going to happen here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour impacts coming in, right? And then they look, and they had, a year ago, they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? Now, they look there now, and all the food's gone. They're gone. And she said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So I said, Master, we need some food. How come you can't produce your own food? I mean, you want your own country, you got your own states, that's your country, then you run it. What are you calling us for? So they're praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money. Right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. You got your reparations, so we don't owe you anything anymore. So what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of the inheritance, what you call Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. Your brothers and sisters, they left, they took that was all for them, they took it. And you said, no, I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh, man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on? And I said, wait a minute, hold on here. What's you calling us for? That's yours. You got to handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff's coming every hour, and instead of like a year, they were celebrating, and now they're crying, begging the master, we got all these problems here. So wait a minute, that's your supposed to come about your problems. You have to work those out. No transportation, I mean, no planes or nowhere. By fly planes and drive trucks and boats and stuff, and you go and get this stuff. What you doing this for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats, and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you coming for? Well, Master, you said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So that if you didn't pay people to take care of this, how's that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, no gas. Yes, wow. All this stuff happened like for a year. Everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So guess what happened? Everything was good when they got it, and it ran out. They had to replace it, the fuel, the farm's gone. So they was left with that stuff. the factory was full, four houses full, and you have to keep, they thought that was just going, I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See? And they ain't train any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan's, he told you he don't get this for you, but he don't pay you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So then he asked the master, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you want to have reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, calling your brothers over there, they left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? Don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? That's what, because if you're going to set reparation, you should be paying for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be paying for it. If he said, God said that's where he's going to get you, so God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, told him to build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states, and the reparations, apparently you didn't. So now, it tells you, look, hold it. We want total separation. We don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You run your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, me and us, all this stuff, right? So now we got to protect your money and everything too. No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they're going to tell all the people, all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. It'd be one way or the other. There could be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You said one or the other. So all the black folks are here, no integration, that kind of stuff. Right? Was it one or the other? So they're there. So they said, okay, right? So they just said, we want to take our money because we don't know what y'all do over here. You have your own money, you have your own wealth. So they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money. Right? Transfer your money into gold. All your dollars into gold. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million apiece. So everybody got $1 million apiece, right? They transfer it to gold. And then what happens is what they do is they start just printing money. Just start printing money. You understand what that means? It's inflation. Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say a million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounce, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. If you want to say trade with your certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold. If you take and print, say you got 1 million ounces of gold, you got 1 million certificates. Each one, well, say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now. You got to connect that to the gold. You print 4 times, then each one is worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they work because those certificates have to equal what the gold is. See, so the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, then less gold. You understand? So the dollar is worth 1 ounce of gold. That's right. Then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's printing money without increasing your wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is, they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. See, that doesn't affect their people. They try to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. Still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now $1 million worth of $5. That's all it's worth. Pay $1. Hardly worth anything. Otherwise, hey, that's our money. You gotta have your money, control your wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they will do that? You've been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the trees they made, the so-called natives kept telling you at fault time because they kept making trees, but then they broke the trees. They took their land and genocide everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth for nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then it's buried up, so it's worth nothing. People still got gold, and even if they take it, hold on, the money hope to increase again, they use another certificate, use another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. The $1 million you had, you was unhappy with now, it's probably worth $1 million. So you can't buy anything $1. Plus the economy's collapse because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't have to communications. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You're an engineer, but how should I know anything? Because it's our company. Right? He didn't know how to prepare you. He told you to give 6 days. He told you this many, right? Now you're broke. The economy's gone. No food, no electricity, no power, anything. It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You still have to heavens for that. And then they closed the border. Because you're going to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We sorry, we want to come in. No. As you chose, you stay there. Close the border so you can't get back in here. You get back into what you call your land now. Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe call it Pharaohland. Farrakhan. You got the Farrakhan. Right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else. Your money's worthless. Oh, God, come back, man. I'll come back with you. I'll with the Popeyes. I'll do anything you want. No. Either they was in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America any places, just in that land, and those that you 6 days. And then you're starving, you ain't got no money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. And then you see Master on the phone, he talks to the guy, you get treat and help you. He finally got rid of niggas. Finally got rid of them. Finally got rid of them. So you see on the phone, yeah, it worked. We saw them in Revelation, we saw them that was a used car. They turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See, they could have had a BMW, they could have had a Lamborghini, they sold it for BMW. Good, damn thing didn't work. Now, it's starving. Living in tents. Praying. So what? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did, but they gave us everything we asked for. What are we gonna do, Farrakhan? What are we gonna do? Pray, 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 pray. That's his answer. Pray, pray, pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, get a big picture. Leave him, the black stand on the shore, the one stay behind, the devil's whooping their ass. But they all thought you think they would give you some land to take care of you? And they won't do that. They go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million, how much that is? 17 million, that would be 17 million times, 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that. What are they going to do that for you? They want to get rid of you. So now they have to see it. Because they close the border, what you going to do? When you want to fight to come out? They close the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. Who's out of here? And those groups that's here, they're gone. And our hands are clean. And gave what they wanted. Or anything. God honors contracts. Remember he honored the contract with Jacob. He sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob. It was Esau's inheritance. And God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Pharaoh ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. It's homeland you was promised, you never rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. So they gave you reparations today or tomorrow. How would that scenario not play out like that? What they say, okay, we got it, you got it. Tell them that scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell them why they wouldn't do it. There'll be so much they can say, okay, we're going to take care of them. And I said, go out there and take care of you when he was right here. He was working at Popeyes and then they get up on Section 8 other stuff right here. Because you know they're trying to get rid of stuff right now. Trump's trying to get all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening in America. Of course, coming there. It's a disaster over there. You know, I just got a call. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call it Conland or something. I forgot what it's something called right there. That 16. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them? Bring them? Oh, no. And he even asked, Master Fard Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. I agree with that. Yeah, the pastor said he's called him and he passed away to Master Fard Muhammad. Master Muhammad said, send him back. Listen, no, we can't come and get you. You made your choice. Live with it. Or die with whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't do that. They actually sent a message over. Well, they did, I have a communication, but somehow they got the information over to him. Said, would we please come and get him? Nope. No, tell them no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land, you got your reparation, you got your money, you got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell them, talk to them, let them straighten out for you. You want to sell your idea, you just sell them. So you want an idea of reparations, we told you. Right? Suleiman Bay, he was a messenger to you, telling you, look man, let's go home. You said no, you chose not to. Okay, well, since that's a side story. Guess that's it, is that it? Well, they're not getting more reports. Okay, he says that was a Matthew Brock Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off. Yeah, so that's it, brothers and sisters. Got those back. They came in. All that came in today. I mean, I came in fast. That's a whole year. Total collapse. They're begging it. Somebody help me. We can't do it. They're master help you. We won't do it. That's not what we do. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in. They said, well, if you won't come and get us food, we at least send some food. They begged them, please send some food. That's what I'm saying, I'm going to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. I said, please just send some food. This guy that in, he says, can you come and get it, please send some food? He says, no. That's a report, I just got the information from the ambassador. He said that, he's ready to meet. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no, go no way. You made your choice, case closed. Just got that in, bro. It's just, that's not like him.